Okay, hello everybody. You should be able to hear me. Let me see if the music is fine. Should be okay. Am I fine now? I seem a bit quiet. Okay. Right, everything seems set up, and let me tweet. The stream is starting. Okay, and in the tweet and before the stream, you can see that I was working on the sloped wheelbarrow model. Like, just real quick, I've textured it. And okay, there are like small issues. Okay, they aren't actually visible here because it's not finished. You can see on the left of the screen there are the hidden faces that I haven't touched. And I'm not too big of a fan of it. No, yeah, like here. That's odd. Rather, that's something I've got to fix. So let me just make quick adjustments to it, and then we'll try to see what it looks like in game. But so far from making it, I'm thinking I will stick with the original cubed model. Okay, so I'm gonna color these the same way. Okay, and here I have an issue too. Oh man. Okay, so let's hide that and let's color that in the same color too. Okay, and that should take only a moment. And then we'll move on to finishing the bubble logic, and then let me think. No, I'm not sure. Okay, I shouldn't have to adjust this phase, but I will anyway. Just to make sure. Okay, and now let me adjust the hidden faces of of these sides. So let's see, what do they have to be? Hide all of that. And okay. What does it have to be? Okay, let me just make it color of the adjacent blocks. Maybe that will be fine. Actually, I shouldn't do that because I won't notice it's wrong. So yeah, let's get some more faces to pop out, and let's see. Because like on the right side, I think I can clearly see the issue. Oh well, oh yeah, like here. You probably can see it on stream. It's just barely picking a yellow color here, and also this is wrong, man. So annoying. Okay, so let's try to fix all of that. And the sloped model is such a mess. And that one. Which color should it actually be? I think it should be this one. Okay, and now yellow below. Appearing below, pretty sure it has to be the same color. It's here, okay. So let's make the bottom of that the same. Let's decide this, and then do the same for other ones there. Okay, so these shouldn't be visible at all. Okay. So just a couple layers and we should be done. Is that really? Okay, I think it is. Oh, same color. Okay. And the last one. And let me make the front an extension of it. Okay, and let's see. I mean, so it doesn't look that bad if you don't look closely. Like this edge really bothers me, for example. I mean, if I move that whole front up, then there will be an edge at the bottom, so there's that. I mean, you will probably be looking more on the top and the bottom, but actually let's try to move it up a bit. Will it work with the... Okay, it should work. With the pivot point 4, 2. No, I will have to adjust the... What is it? The z-axis too. Okay, so 0.2 is too much. How about 10? Almost. Let's adjust that first. Oh, okay, that will be a pain. Let's make that 0.9 and let's make that 0.1. Okay, small steps. Okay, almost done, but maybe 0.2. That's slightly higher. Okay, actually slightly smaller. So 89. Man, be really funny if I'm not able to get it. Okay. I think it's as perfect as I will be able to make it. And let's see. Now there should be... Oh, man. Yeah, I guess I can't do that. Unless I resize these, can I? Kinda can. See. And I will have to fix the texture too. Okay, so this has to stay. This should be just half a block. And same for the other side. And then I'll have to adjust the textures. Well, let's see. Okay, so there's that at the bottom. I can live with it. Yes, it looks better. Like that. And let's see, can I adjust that somehow? Kinda. Okay, so let's do that. Okay. So far, we are kind of getting there. Okay, let's see, that edge. Or should it be that color? Not sure. Think. Okay, let's make it the front color. This is such a pain. All the fun of it. Maybe not a pain, but really unintuitive. And tedious. But it is what it is. Okay. This side should be done. This is aligned. And where am I? Oh. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Yeah, I've gotta adjust that after I've resized it. So let's paint that really quick. Where do I move? There. And here I just mirror the other side. Okay, I think that's done. On the other side. Okay, so that should be everything, hopefully. Let's see. Okay, my language server classically doesn't want to start, so hopefully it will now. Oh, that looks really weird. What if I color it the same? Okay, that's something else. But okay, I don't think I can do much better at the moment. So let's try to see what it looks like in game. Okay, let me see. Seems okay. So let's, okay, I gotta export it. Export Java entity, temp. Okay, actually, let's have two models in game. So that will be a Wheelbarrow entity model, Java, and let's have a wonder. And texture shouldn't be copper wheelbarrow. Let me rename that. Save as copper wheelbarrow 1. Okay, and I should need to, okay, if I undo those changes, should be okay. Let's hope my LSP starts. Okay, nice. Now let's register this second one. Okay, so let's make a copy of that. It'll be wheelbarrow 2. Rather 1. I mean, it should have been 2. That, okay. Let's make the oxidized item spawn it. Oxidized copper item will spawn wheelbarrow entity. That's the type, wheelbarrow 1 entity. Wait, where is it spawning an item? Oh, it's spawning an item there. So how do I make it on the correct type? Okay, maybe if the type is oxidized, then I will add a quick check. Create. Where is the spawn entity? Okay, this is the entity logic, I need the item logic. And here, yeah, I take in the type and I do spawn entity, wheelbarrow entity, which is made, okay, here with the type. Then you do this type equals wheelbarrow entity types oxidized and you spawn. Okay, now that won't work, I don't think. And too many equal signs, classic. Oh, let me think. It shouldn't be that hard. Okay, so let's first make the... Okay, so I have the second model. Let me add the imports. Wheelbarrow entity model. Let's have a one there. Okay, the same entity. May not have been initialized. Okay, so one. And that seems correct. Let's have the second renderer. Not using that anymore, I guess. Okay. Copy that to wheelbarrow entity renderer 1. Okay, and it will have only one texture. That will be the wheelbarrow 1. Wheelbarrow renderer entity 1. Okay, and I do new wheelbarrow entity model. I need entity model 1. And that's not entity. I need the model 1. Okay, so wheelbarrow entity model. This model, okay. Now, okay, I have the second renderer. Okay, that's for the entity wheelbarrow. So I should have wheelbarrow 1, that's correct. And I'll just summon it with a command, that's fine. I guess wheelbarrow entity 1. Okay, yeah, and let's not touch the items. Let's see if that works. Oh, that's such an ominous theme. Everything should be working. Other than my hands, apparently. Okay, so this is the old model, and 1. Okay, I mean, it looks kinda sleek, actually. Yeah, with that slope. Oh man, I like that slope. But I'm not a fan of the texture. Let's merge that and let's see. Yeah, so you definitely can see the artifacts there. Okay, but I guess I haven't updated that. I should have. Yes, I'm here. Should have the correct coloring. Okay, but that's a quick fix. Okay, bottom looks... I mean, presentable, but not good. And this is definitely an artifact there. I thought I colored it. It should be colored. Make sure this is the left side. Okay, I guess it isn't, my bad. Let's try to fix this real quick. I think they will still pop out. Okay, I need the front, I don't need these sides. Okay. So this side's done, and the other side. Okay, and I did the other side, okay, and what was the issue? The bottom there. So let's hide these signs. And then this is the same. The right color. And this is correct too. I'm not sure what that's about, okay, but the both texture and the entity should be saved, so let's restart and see again. Okay. So remove the temp thingy. Let me adjust that to quick options, entity 1. Okay, that's not doing anything. Neither is the test for some reason. Project, model identifier 1. Let's save the model. Okay, let's export the model as temp 1. And that should be, that should stop messing with it. What's that? Let's implement the inherited abstract method. Is it not doing that? And it has an error. No, it should be okay. Yeah, so I don't, yeah, if the artifacts are still visible, then I think I will stick with the stairs front, even though the slope one looks kinda nice, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the artifacts that are needed because of it. Make it work, rather, sorry. Yeah, so there's still this line. And that line here, I'm not sure if you guys can see it on stream. It's definitely visible to me. Okay, but I mean, other than that, it looks fine. These are only small portions. I mean, it does look much better than the stairs one. Man, those artifacts, huh? Probably if I use like a library for models, then I could make one that doesn't have them. But I want this mod to be like no libraries without any dependencies. Okay, so I mean this doesn't look that bad. Just that this one looks better. Not really though, because of that. Maybe that's just the texturing issue. And this side looks fine, so I guess if I recolored that side to match that, it would be okay. Maybe. And okay, because of those artifacts, I think I'm going to just stick with the old model. Say that it has a charm to it, those stairs. And it would save me a lot of time not having to make the textures variants for the sloped one. It's such a bummer because sloped one looks really good, in my opinion, and just those lines here. I mean, this line could probably be fixed if I colored it the top layer, same way top layer is colored, not the bottom one. Okay, but there's that. Which I guess could be fixed too. Okay, so let's try those two fixes real quick. So that line should be the same color. Wait, where is it? Actually, should it be? I forgot now. I wanted to make it the bottom color. Let's try that. I don't think that's going to help much. I think I've had in mind coloring that layer too. And let's try fixing that. Okay, let's see. If that helps at all. Oh man. I really do like the strings in Kane's theme. Okay, taking its time to launch. I guess. Okay. So now that looks... okay, so I guess I wanted to make it the same color that is, but I think that's what it was. I think that's the issue here, is that it's not the same shade as that. It's brighter, I think. Looks brighter. Let's see here. That kind of helped. I guess now I would have to make these patterns match because it doesn't make sense for them to look like that. I mean, it kind of does because they are separate sheets of copper, but that doesn't look good. And I think that's just a lot of work for it. And yeah, there are those lines that I really dislike. Okay, so let's get rid of that then. Stick to the old model and let's move on to handling the bubble column. Seeing the removal of that. That stays. Undo that and undo the second renderer. Let me close all of the buffers. Open the entity. Okay, and I think on bubble column surface, okay, that's what we are working with. So at the moment, it should be that if I push my wheelbarrow to the onto a bubble surface, bubble column surface, it will just sink slightly below and hover above it. and also the falling speed. Okay, that's what has to be done today. Or rather, that's what will be hopefully done today. Okay, so if I push my wheelbarrow on top of that, then it should just sink a bit and then stay just right below the surface. Yep. Wonder what makes it jump randomly. Maybe that's a fine behavior actually. That seems to be messed up on its own anyway. But in my opinion, it should just stay like that forever. Not have these random moments where it will be above the water right now. Not sure why it's doing that. Is the minecart doing? Okay, I haven't modified the minecart's code, so it won't be doing that. There's no point in checking, but yeah, so minecart falls much faster. I'm guessing this has something to do with the velocity decay. Once it gets going. And my boat like decays really slowly, really fast. Okay, so I think don't mind that happening too much. What's going to happen if I uncomment the default surface collision behavior? It should still behave the same, which is the wrong way, where it hovers a few blocks above the water surface and bobs up and down there. They haven't changed anything from the original implementation, but maybe that's not the case. Coding overloaded. Consider turning down. Okay, that was turning down video settings or using a faster encoding preset. Okay, thanks OBS. Let me see if I can do anything. Output. Encoder settings. Okay, so I have slow, good quality preset. 2 passes, quarter resolution, profile high. GPU. Can I make GPU do anything? Not sure. Let's just not touch that, I guess. Those previous streams seem fine. Okay. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen now. Yeah, so that's the same logic that's messed up. It shouldn't do that. Can I sit in it? Can. I stand on it. I just did. Okay, lol. Let's see what happens if I make it a bit smaller. It's like I don't mind it going that high, but I mind it just levitating few blocks above where it should be. I have no idea why it's doing that. It didn't help at all. Okay, so I guess just to move on with it, because I don't really care about that much. About it that much. Okay, so if it's a drag, if drag, then let's set velocity and do that. And otherwise we just don't care, and it should make it so that it floats below the surface of the water. Actually, let's wait before I do that. Let's comment that. It should be fine. I haven't had that time. But just particles. I was working on a model before stream. Tomorrow, yeah, I will be working on another thing, the time lapse. So particles. Actually, I think if I just change them from next Gaussian to the next double, maybe that will help. Okay, so now, yeah, it bobs there. And it will, yeah, go up for a moment. So that's like, shouldn't be, and whatever. I'm fine with it. What's going to happen if it's in the drag column? It will sink. So let's now make it fall as fast as the minecart, then compare it to the minecart in a drag column. And I can delete that. Okay, so let's here just override the on bubble column surface. And okay. Something glitched there for a moment. Oh man, I didn't update the stream title. Let me do that. Minecraft mod dev. Finishing bubble columns. Okay, that seems fine. And let's try to see the velocity to do. Okay. I need the minecart, abstract minecart entity. I'll just start with minecart entity. Oh, not that. What's that? Velocity. Okay, get velocity multiplier if on rails. Animate damage, set velocity. Where is that? In tick. There's no gravity. Okay, so D is for is for y-axis, and if we are touching water, then we fall down slowly, and otherwise we fall down faster. So there was the 0.05, I think, yeah, 5%, or actually 5,000, and otherwise it's 4%. Okay, so I have that. It's actually more than that. Yeah, if we are touching water, so let's see. velocity. Where's that? Inside of that tick function. Here we do if writable, then okay, but this is horizontal. Move of rail, set velocity. Where's falling? Okay, ascending fast, east rather. Okay, move on rail, that's not it either. What's that? Okay, that's still move on rail. It's a lot of velocity. Okay, apply slowdown. Now have we gone... Okay, now push away from. I'm not sure why all of them have different logic for being pushed. Rather take that much care into handling that. Set velocity client, velocity song. Okay, so we went back. Maybe the vehicle entity has... Nope. Water. Where's water? Update water state is touching water. Okay, so maybe I can just make it faster. Try to make it faster without knowing the actual values. Or velocity. Okay, nothing there. And I don't feel like reading all of that. And just try to adjust those values at random and hope that it works. Okay, so velocity decay is kind of big. Maybe it should be smaller. Rather, maybe it should be larger. Because we have more mass or something. I want to at least fall as fast as the minecart. Somewhere in between the minecart and the boat. I think we fell down even slower than before. I mean, I can just make it one body of water. And let's add doors there. Maybe fence is fine, fence gate. And I've lost the button. Okay, so I think that made it fall slower. See what else can I adjust? Why multiplier? Maybe make it a bit larger. Bring that down. Bring it back down to 45 and see what it looks like. Make that 8 actually. I mean, if it doesn't work, then I can just move on because it doesn't matter that much. And I kinda wanna make progress instead of just tweaking those values over and over. I think that's almost equal. It was actually just a bit faster. Let me just make sure once again. Yeah, so it's faster, but the minecart still catches up, like there's still a slowdown there. Maybe just in air velocity decay has to be smaller. See? I think it gets into water later. Let me sound them much higher. 100 blocks up. Oh man, that was fast. Okay, so some of these values are obviously incorrect. Well, so let's make that back. Bring that back to 7. Let's see what it looks like with much more room to accelerate. Sorry, I gotta adjust microphone. Hope it's not too loud for you. Okay, so I mean, if they move far apart, okay, so Wheelbarrow just falls much faster everywhere. I keep not using my entrance. This should be signs actually that they don't get toggled by the button. Oh, great. Okay. It's a nice entrance and... Okay, do I care about it actually? Okay, so I think the decay, speed decay in water has to actually be a bit smaller, or rather a bit larger. Yeah, the decay has to be smaller, so it has to be larger. Because, like, the minecart catches up, I think catches up in water. What if I sound them right at the surface? So that's 71. Okay, then they are actually quite rather chill. I think the speed decay in water to be smaller. Let's make it 0.5. And in air, let me think. Okay, so that's this thing. I think that's what's making it fall faster than the minecart. Okay, so let's adjust that and see what it looks like now. Let's actually just make it match minecart or be slightly slower. Either much or just a bit slower. I think that's the way to go. Okay, so that's still a bit faster than in minecart. Should be in this value. Y multiplier would have to be, where is it used? Here, Y multiplier would have to be Okay, so let's first go back to summoning them really high up, because now their speed should match. Should hit water at the same time. Okay, I'm very wrong about that. Damn, my wheelbarrow just zoomed there so much faster than in minecart. So maybe it doesn't have maximum velocity. It just keeps on speeding up. Shouldn't, I don't think. Yeah, it has the constant rate. I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't seem to have a limit of how fast it can be going down. Just try to log the velocity, y velocity every tick, and see if it just keeps on going up and up and up. Update velocity. And let's do wheelbarrow. Oh man, let's skip all of that. That would be system out print line, and I want to do y speed plus this get velocity y. Because let's see, it should have a terminal velocity. I think that's what it's called. The point where it doesn't accelerate anymore. Which minecart seems to have. Not sure if my wheelbarrow does. It just keeps on zooming. I guess it shouldn't do that. So let's see what should be the limit? Does boat have a limit? Oh man, where can I find the velocity slowdown multiplier? Okay, so that's 95. I think I have 90 actually. Y multiplier is 1. And the velocity... Okay, never mind, that's not it. Maybe there's an answer here. Minecart, terminal velocity, Minecraft. 500 blocks per second. Okay, so 500 blocks per second will be by 20. Oh, that doesn't seem right. 25 blocks every tick. That's Bedrock edition. Bedrock, yeah. Like 10x the speed of Java minecart. Java minecart. Boosters. Default top speed of minecarts in blocks per tick or meters per tick. Can I just calculate that somehow? And I kind of can, so okay. So if I'm summoning it... Oh, I can't really, because I would have to calculate the acceleration, and man, I'm not in school. I don't want to do that. I'm thinking, okay, so I definitely should have a limit to the velocity, so let's just add one. With heat, how much was it? I think -3 at some point. Yep. And just make it -2 first. And then velocity. Okay, so what does it take? A double. Double y equals that. If y is smaller than -2, then double, rather y equals -2. Okay, my amazing terminal velocity calculation. And I didn't remove the log, so we'll see. Stop sign at -2. I don't think I care that much about the acceleration rate actually, just as long as the velocity is fine. Okay, so it's still much faster than the minecart it seems. But it should have stopped at -2. Okay. Looks like it has to be even smaller. Let's make it 1. 1 block per tick. Maybe it's fine. Yeah, I can remove the log now, I think. Okay, and fell down actually. Minecart's kinda catched up in water. Kinda caught up, man. What if I adjust? Okay, so I think that's the same as minecart. In air, the velocity decay is 0.9. So let's make that 0.8. Does that seem to... Actually, let's say at 0.1, -1. And I will look on the top how fast, which one accelerates faster. Okay, so let's see. I'm expecting my wheelbarrow to slow down a lot in water, yep. Minecart just keeps going. Now let's see. 61, I think that's what it was. And 6, was it? Yep, I think it was. Okay. So let's have this be 80. Okay, and actually minecart seems to have accelerated faster. It looks like my wheelbarrow's max velocity has to be adjusted still. Do I mind it that much? Actually 20 blocks per second seems fine. So maybe just make it fall slightly faster. Now for the velocity decay. So in water definitely has to be smaller. Make it 0.6. Maybe that's the Y multiplier issue. Actually, the minecart doesn't seem to slow down in water at all. And it just keeps going. Well, let's see what it looks like with 0.6. Did it fall slower? I think the issue now is my multiplier. Let's make that a bit bigger. And I shouldn't be comparing to the minecart from the start. Instead of basing my values off a boat. Let's not touch the flowing water stuff. It's like when, I mean never, you won't actually ever see the difference between those two unless you are testing it. Don't just make it kinda close. You know, it was much better. So it still slows down a bit, but kinda thonks the ground. A very scientific term. Make that 120. 120. Okay, so my wheelbarrow was faster, but then slowed down and minecart caught up. It slows down above the water. Actually, I think it's my fault because I haven't cleaned up the... I might still have some fall logic that's taking care of it. Full distance. On ground. Hmm. Okay, so let's test one more time, and I think that's just it. There's no point in dwelling on it further. Let me just see what that's in water. Okay, I like that velocity, it's fine. Let's just leave it like that, and let's now do the magma thingy. Let me summon 2 wheelbarrows and see if there's any default difference by default. Oh, and that's still a minecart. Maybe. I think I'll just keep it like that. City minecart. I'm pretty sure I've tested that already in minecart. In just plain water, fell faster, sank faster than in minecart. Inside of the bubble column. Yeah. Why didn't this one have a chest? Because I made it have one. That's why. Okay, so this one falls faster, and if I go back to wheelbarrow. This one falls faster too. Kinda, actually, not that much. What if I command the bubble surface logic? Maybe that's what's causing it to do that. So let's check that real quick. If not, then like just to see if that's the case. If not, then we'll move on anyway because it doesn't matter. Okay, so that didn't do anything, but if I push it on top of water, then it sinks. Shocking. If I push it on top of water, it also sinks. Okay, let me just make sure that there are particles when you push it there. Okay, there are. And I think that's it. Okay, so I'll just override the on bubble column surface to do nothing. Then. Okay, I guess it has to be on new line and see what's next. Make look better. Bubblecom logic and wobble. Okay, that's done. Passengers, adjust moving velocity and wheel animation. Okay, so next will be passengers, I guess. Okay, so let's comment yoinking for now. Let's keep that, whatever. Doesn't matter. Let's comment the changes. There shouldn't be too many. This entity, adjust velocity, falling velocity. Okay, now passengers. Okay, so passenger position is, I'm guessing, what I will need. Okay, so I need two cases, kind of. First, open the boat. Let's see, passenger attachment position. Okay, entity dimensions, scale factor. Okay, passenger list, index of, size is bigger than 1. Then we adjust the horizontal offset. Okay, so if it's the first passenger, Okay, and if it's an instance of animal entity, so I'm guessing this makes it just be by default be in the correct spot. Actually, let me test that. I don't think it will be actually. I think it moves when I jump into the boat with it. So let's have a boat, let's have a cow. Yes, it's taking all of the space, basically, and if I jump in, it moves, yep, to the back. Okay, so for my wheelbarrow, I'd want it to always be, if it's an entity, then it always has to be there. Whether if it's a non-player entity, and then if you are a player, then you get put there, and if you are second player that clicks, then you are made a passenger. Oh, okay, so let's do that. See what else is there about passengers. Something about bubble columns. And removal passengers if you are underwater. Set paddles moving, paddle moving, whatever. And that's for ticking, I think. That's for yoinking rather. Okay, so that's for when we are getting sucked in, or probably. Passenger horizontal offset. So this is just 0. Update passenger position. And is that called? Entity position updater. Position updater, okay. Can turn in boats. Clamp passenger Rio, okay, that's nothing too special. Update passenger for dismount. Get poses for each pose. For vector in the list of new. Okay, so I'm guessing this handles like dismounting only when. Okay, don't want to walk through that now. On passenger look around, clampion. Here just paddles moving and cannot passenger. And get controlling passenger. At first passenger. Okay, so probably start first with that, and let's see what logic about passengers do I have. Okay, so just get max passengers. Okay, so let's add that, get controlling passenger. Probably want to override the get max passengers. Or actually I don't think that's it has to be overridden at all. Yeah, I don't think Minecraft cares about that. So I get the first passenger, that should be built in. If the entity is an instance of living entity, do I need to override it? I mean, both does it. Instance of living entity, I set living entity, cast it and return it. Not sure what's the point of that. Maybe I can just return it. Otherwise, I call that, okay. I mean, do I have to cast it there? Like, I've just checked what it is. Entity. Whatever, let's skip the cast. Okay, so that's first. What's next? Can add passenger, override. Okay, so I think this can just stay. I don't need to care about that because it's probably built in, just checks the max passengers. Get max passengers, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe let's try to see how many Steves can I fit into a boat. Get controlling passengers. Do I really need to do that? Okay, I guess I do. Readable entities should override this to return the entity. This is usually get first passenger. Okay, and here it is that. Why would I? Passenger list is empty, otherwise, maybe just so it's a living entity, I guess. So I need one instance. I need 3 instances in total. So let's launch the world, open it to LAN, and it should be everything I need to test it. Okay, so I can get in. How about other Mies? Okay, the other me can't get in, so I guess by default it's 1. Okay, so let's first change that to Canada passenger, okay. Get controlling, get max, and your Canada passenger will be just that. Echo has a really nice theme too. Oh, these are grouped by seasons. I didn't notice that. Okay, that makes sense. Where am I? Here. Okay, so I should be able to get in, okay, and we are on top of each other. Now the third guy should be told no. Okay. Why can't I? Okay, because we are in creative. Okay, so that's easy enough. Next will be adjusting the positions and poses, I guess. Entity max passengers too. Okay. With that done, see the cannot passenger, get max passengers, get controlling passenger. Okay, so let's go whatever, let's go forwards. Passenger attachment position. Bubble. So that's there. Vector. Entity dimensions. Get passenger horizontal offset. Okay, that's 0 if I remember correctly. Let's have that anyway. It's smaller. Okay, I have that as can be yoinked. That would be, where is it? Just add it here. Okay, so I don't have type bamboo. Okay, so this is the position. I'll just have it be return F. Just have it be that. Animal entity. I do need that. Horizontal offset. Okay, so I don't think I care about that being bigger than 1. Actually, I do. Okay, so either if it's bigger than 1 or passenger is instance of animal entity, and I want it to be in the center. Otherwise, let's make it... Okay, I don't think it makes sense for me to have the variable actually. How many times is it used here? Passenger, horizontal offset once. Okay, just once. Yeah, so I don't think it makes sense for me to have that variable. Okay, because here I want it to be minus, let's say, 0.5 or default. Otherwise, if it's an if it's an animal or second player, then we place it in front. I mean, this doesn't make sense. Or maybe it does. Maybe I do need to take care of that. Because maybe you can summon, like summon an entity and put passengers with commands there. So maybe I do have to care about the index. Okay, so let's make it -6, and for otherwise, let me think. I think I want to add that, and this get passenger list, index of passenger equals 0, too many equal signs. Then we set it to sure that. And let's see where that's going to put me. I really wonder why, where, when, like the size. Okay, I mean, because probably it's not called, okay, it makes sense. It's probably not called when the entity gets inside, but maybe more often than that. Where am I now? Okay, that's almost perfect actually. Then just make my pose. How can I fix my pose now? Passenger. Saying it controlling passenger. Remove all passengers. Was something about the pose. That's yoinking, that's removing. Update puddles. Position. Okay, so this is for getting and this is for updating. Let's see that. And this doesn't have yaw actually, or not yaw, the pose. Here's the pose setting. Saying get passenger dismount offset. Probably built in. Update passenger for dismount. So that's a lot of logic. I really don't want to think about. Clamp yaw. Passenger look around. Not passenger. Okay, I think I missed the pose. Get eye height. Get poses. Okay, I set pose. Maybe I can just set pose. What is that called? Let's see. Stamp out, print line. Updating passenger pose or other position. Passenger. Okay, so that has to be slightly further back. I get 7. Try your starting Minecraft, sure. Where am I now? So this is being called perpetually. Let's see where is this being called actually. Getting passenger. Updating but getting passenger attachment pose. Okay. And I mean, maybe it would have, I mean, it doesn't seem to have a description. Okay, but I probably, in either one of them, I should be able to set the pose. So maybe get attachment position is called once, and then update is called after that. Okay, so getting passenger attachment position, updating passenger position. Huh. So let's ask ChatGPT, maybe it will know. What's the difference between entity that and entity that. Minecraft both are methods related to handling passengers, entities riding on top of or inside another entity. However, they serve different purposes. Entity get passenger attachment pose. This method is used to determine the attachment position for a passenger entity relative to its host entity. It calculates the position where the passenger should be attached or seated on the host entity. Okay. Vector, I think. Okay. True. So what's the return? Attachment position relative to the host entity's coordinates. The returned attachment position is usually used to properly position and render the passenger. Okay, this method is used to update the position of a passenger entity while it's riding or inside another entity. Adjusting position based on the host entity's movement or changes in state. Okay, so this is probably used for clamping the eyes. Yeah, set headio, okay, so when you get in. Actually, no. Update passenger position. Setio. Why is there anything about setting Hio? Can turn in boats. Okay, so otherwise, yeah, we just set it to boats, Hio, okay. Okay. What can turn in boats? You probably won't know. And if so if it's okay, so it only works for stuff that can't turn in boats. Clamp passenger yawn. Okay. I'll get to that in a moment because that's probably something I wanna do too. Which method should I use to call set pose if I want my controlling first passenger to be standing instead of sitting. And also I wanted to ask oh man, what did I want to ask? What is it? I want to know. Oh man, I just completely blanked on that. Yeah, I wanted to know if the controlling main passenger always the passenger on get passenger list index 0 is often considered the primary or controlling passenger, but this is not always the case. The order of passengers in the list does not necessarily indicate the roles of importance. In many scenarios, such as when a player rides a vehicle or mounts an entity, the passenger at index 0 may indeed be the controlling passenger. It's not guaranteed to be true in all cases. Well, I mean, I wish it was more terse because it's the order of passengers can change. So, if a cow walks up to a boat, gets sucked in, then a player gets into the boat, is the cow at the index 0, despite the player being the controlling entity? I just said that in the scenario you described, if a cow walks up to a boat and gets into it before a player, the cow would be indeed at index 0 in the boat. This is because it was the first entity to become a passenger of the boat. If a player then enters the boat, potentially displacing the cow to a different index. Okay, whatever. Let's see. You want your controlling passenger to be standing instead of sitting. You should use the entity update passenger position method to adjust the position of the passenger entity. Within this method, you can. Okay, so that method. And do I want to call the super? I mean, both does it, so I guess I might as well. Passenger equals your controlling passenger. Okay, so if passenger, where is the super? Okay, at the beginning. If passenger equals this get controlling passenger, turns the passenger in control of the entity or null if there's no writable entities, should override this to return the entity. This is usually in get first passenger. So I did override it, I think. I did. Okay, so I get the first passenger. Maybe that's not what I wanted to do. Whatever, and just ignore that. And if there will be bugs, then I will take care of it. If passenger equals get controlling passenger, I'd like to call passenger update position, update pose, update passenger position, set pose, okay. Entity pose, standing. That's probably not ideal because I will want it to walk. Okay, but let's start with standing. I would like my player to walk. And they are riding the boat. Okay, but for now we can start with standing, and then once I add moving, then shouldn't be too hard. Maybe something like this velocity x velocity, something like that. If the velocity is changing, then or maybe just is moving. Yeah, I think there should be just the. That's not it. Okay. So let's check the logs first and see what it looks like. Shouldn't need that. Okay, yeah, so this is attachment position, and this is, okay, makes sense for me to have it there, and plus main entity, or rather controlling passenger, plus this get controlling passenger. Here, just print out that I'm setting the pose. Setting pose to standing. And the league themes are cool, but they are kinda heavy. That's not really the music I can jump to, vibe to while I'm while I'm programming. But okay, there's like 30 30 of them left. I mean, whatever. Let me change that. Try Stardew Valley OST. That could be cool. Okay, so I am standing, because I was standing. Okay, so setting pose to standing. Client player entity. Hmm. What else is there? Dying, digging, roaring, croaking, emerging, shooting, sleeping, all flying, long jumping, using tongue. Okay, I think that's for the sniffer, I think. I haven't actually seen that entity. Okay. I am setting calling the passenger pose inside the update. Say that. But it's not working. Passenger is still sitting. Minecraft fabric update passenger pose. Entity mountable with passenger. Okay, that's 10 years ago, man. Maybe horse. See the horse. I think you sit on the horse, but maybe not. You just sit on it. So that's not helpful. What other entities are there that could have a different position? You sit on the strider. What else is there? Is there anything? Pig, you sit on a pig. I can't come up with anything. Okay, so I'm not sure why that's not working. Let me add one song to the queue. I think that's the one. Correct pose setting. Verify passenger reference. Check if method is called. Okay, it is called. And all of that is working. So maybe let me call that in get attachment position too. Because why not? Man, I'm just slightly dragging that. And does that. So annoying. And just pops out. Nope. Okay, so what would happen if I were to not call this super? It shouldn't matter because passenger riding position, passenger riding offset, unscaled riding offset. Is there anything about pose? Set pose, standing, start riding, whether to bypass the entities. It's kind of that music. It's fine. Thought it would be the different one. Still a jam. Try that. Okay, so start riding. Will cause the horse to ride the player. This fails when the entity is already riding the entity, or vice versa. When this entity not allow. Set pose, standing. Set pose. So this is for the entity. For update passenger for dismount, entity pose, okay. It's going through all the poses and checking if an entity can fit inside of that pose. Yeah. Okay. Kind of understand what it's doing. What I don't understand is why it's not working. Passenger set pose. Maybe there's something else. Nope, that's just it. Hmm. Let's see, maybe sled has it. Maybe aircraft has it. Probably not. Pose. I mean, that should be it. Oh, I'm on default Steve, by the way, no skin. Yeah, I will want to clamp the Eon. That's for later. Pose, purpose, set pose. Where's that? This one? Okay, so this is the same as both. Player entity mixing. Update player pose at tail. Okay, so that's kind of what I want. If I'm set on aircraft entity, then I want the pose to be standing. Update player pose. Oh man, I want to not do the mixins. Player entity mixing. Extends entity. Is scoping. Should dismount injection. Update post. I think it should be pose injection. Root vehicle instance of aircraft entity. Set pose. Okay, so this is for this one location too. Okay, what's that? Update player pose. Pose. Minecraft fabric entity set pose not working. Entity set position. Change player position. Oh man, but I want pose. Set pose. Okay. Force pose of living entity. That's for forge, I think. Set force pose, but it's only for the player. We are using runs at the top of the tick method, so it will be superseded by all other logic. Unfortunately, no good way to do this. Okay, so they seem to be doing the same thing I'm trying to do. Let's see, is it not working? Yeah, remains in a sitting position because that's after tick, probably as the command said. I'm guessing I will have to use a mix-in. As a client mix-ins. These, okay, these are server mix-ins. Mixin, that's the player entity mixin. And I will have to register it. Mixins, player entity mixin, I think that's correct. Okay, so I don't need that. Wants to stop riding, then we should dismount injection. whatever. Package, that will be com, assassin mode, wheelbarrow, mixing. Won't be resolved. Player, port player. And that's at player class. Why is it not player entity class? Import entity. Where is that? Mm, entity pose, entity type. Skip that. Entity, same for entity type. Port level. Minecraft. Level info. No. Let's see, what does it have to be? Assuming that's player entity. Pose. Is there anything about pose? There's a lot of stuff about pose. Okay, so at the end of tick, it has update pose. Okay, so makes sense that I would want to inject that at the end. And does it? Maybe. As vehicle. Can change into pose. Entity pose, then entity pose 2. Okay. I'll just add it at the end, even though it's not the best. Let me add that at the beginning. Try to return from it. Let's see. Shouldn't be that hard. Add head. Rollback info. Update. Pose. Injection. Okay, get rid vehicle. Instance of wheelbarrow entity. Wheelbarrow entity. Anti pose standing. Unable to locate. Update player pose. Okay, what was it? Update, just update pose. And the level. Okay, what's that supposed to be? Does it really have to be all of that? I guess. Oh, let's see the fabric docs. Okay, or actually, I'm trying to make a mixin. Would inject the code at the beginning of player entity, update pose. Condition is met. The injected method too. I got this far, but I'm not sure what the constructor should look like, as the level is copied from older version and doesn't do what it has to be anymore. And also I'm not sure how to early return in my injection. Let's hope ChatGPT has got my back. Just need to ensure that the constructor of our mixing class income is compatible with the superclass constructor. Okay, so I guess I can just copy that. Super. Follow that world. Pose, yo, and game profile. Other missing import. Player entity mixing. Oh man, what is the constructor then? It shouldn't be that. It is that. I missed something. No, I haven't. Huh? Maybe just that. Return from the injected method. You can use return as the target for your injection point. Okay, so I need cancelable true. Now CI cancel. Okay, that's easy enough. Okay, but the constructor, let me think. Okay, let's cancel the fabric docs first. Mixins, because I've been there. Mixin injects. Directors, tips, examples. Everything that target class extends implements everything that target class implements. Okay, access that this instance. Okay. Double casting this should be avoided when possible. Double casting this, not sure. Okay, here. Intent to. I think should have been explained earlier inside of the wiki, so let's get back to that. If I can find that, I can. Okay. Injects. Mixing examples, mixing injects, okay. Man, I keep scrolling past it. Registration. Okay, I know that. Introduction, probably not what I need. Hot swapping mixins, exporting. Reflection, okay. Method redirectors. Constructor. Adding an entity, jigsaws. Creating a screen. Mixing. Mixing tips. Mixing injects. Okay. Do I not need much the constructor? Constructor is removed as it's not needed. Okay, should have read that, I guess. It's compatible. Since player entity does not have a constructor that takes entity, you should remove the constructor from your mixing. Whatever, let's just remove it and see if it works. That's fine. It doesn't. Super. Entity. Does that work? Entity type and world. Okay, but that's not where I wanted to put it. Sorry. Wrong spot. Here, and where's my mixing? There. Let's import it, or let's not import it. Can I remove all of that? Maybe. Okay, let's see. I have a feeling that's not going to work. Okay, maybe let's just start with that first. And then we will see if it's doing anything. Yeah, the log. System. Updating. Position. Position injection. Oh man, I hate that all injection stuff. It is what it is. Sorry, bumped my microphone. Not a fan of it. Okay, so it is working. Cool. I'm still not standing for some reason. Okay, so let's see. Root vehicle. This get root vehicle. Let's add this because I don't like not having this. And here let's add a log that I'm setting it. Cancel. If the object is cancelable, cancels the object. Implementers may throw. Specifies. Okay, maybe that's not working and it's proceeding further into the function. Actually, what I could do is also inject at the tail of it. For fun. Maybe. Or will it not like that? No, it won't like that. Actually, position, tail. Let's just print here tail inject. Happening. Okay, that should work. Setting pose to standing. Okay, let's see. Man, that's so complicated. Wonder if I can adjust my arms, probably not. I don't think any vanilla thingy does it. Okay, so this will start the spam. Okay, tail is happening. Here if I do that and save, let's see. Okay, so tail is happening, but not my Okay, it's happening. Root vehicle. I don't see setting pose to standing, so root vehicle. Client player entity for some reason. Whatever it is, it's not my wheelbarrow. Actually, it is my wheelbarrow. Setting pose to standing. Okay, and tail wasn't happening there. Here I dismounted, I guess. In passenger pose. So this is happening after tick, actually. Why is that not working? Okay, let's see. Root vehicle wheelbarrow entity. Okay. Setting pose to standing. That's from the injection. Root vehicle. Okay, again. I'm guessing 2 ticks happen. Okay, never mind. This is just server, I think. Yeah, server, and then updating. Yeah, from server to and from render. Red, okay. Controlling passenger, client player entity. Okay, setting pose to standing. And let's try to do this. Get pose. So I know that's correct. I don't need that. System. Update position in wheelbarrow. Pass this rather passenger. Get pose. Man, why is it just not working? And I'm definitely standing. So why is that not true? What if I were to inject a log? Layer my own, okay. Inject a log into the tick method. Inject method. Tick. Add tail. Cancelable, nope. Tick injection. Here just print what my position is. Tick, tail, pose. Rather what my pose is, not position. Okay, sorry. Is that correct? Let's see the tick method of the player entity. Tick. Okay, it's just void. There's nothing. Should happen at the end. Okay, it goes update pose. Should do my thing. Man. Oh. Ish, it just worked. I guess for my next mod I will be using libraries if they make it an easier. Okay, so tick, pose, standing, and pose is standing. So why is the player not standing? So this is right. Okay, let's see if I can get rid of that injection. Maybe um maybe just my set pose in update passenger position is enough in wheelbarrow entity. See if the standing is still, if the position pose is still standing at the end. It is standing, okay, and for minus crouching. That's definitely not standing. Well, it looks like I don't need all of that, actually. It'd be really nice. If it worked, but it doesn't. What if I try another pose? What about whatever, sleeping? Let's bring back that log actually, just so I can feel better. If at the end of the tick method, pose is correct, and I'm not sure what else could be overriding it. Maybe the player entity renderer is just ignoring that. Okay, we do be standing, and now we do be... Oh. We do be sleeping. So why is standing not working? See a different one. Okay, so I think that log is needed. What can we use? How about shooting, croaking? Not sure what that is. Sliding, lying, sleeping. Not sure what the difference between those two is. Swimming, sure. Man, that should have been so simple. I'm kinda annoyed spending time on it when it's just call. Should be just calling set pose and moving on. Okay, so swimming works. What else works? So maybe it's not standing that the walking. What else could the player entity be doing? It's not standing. How about, how about, let's see, what player entity? Set pose, update pose. So we have swimming, fall swimming, sleeping, spin attack. Okay, how about spin attack? Okay, it doesn't. Is there standing anywhere? I mean, there should be. No, there doesn't seem to be. Okay, there is standing right at the end there. Let's try spin attack. Man, it was going so well. Skipped all the texture, messing with model, bubble logic. So not to move on to making. Oh. Hmm. Okay, but that's still sitting actually. What else is there than crouching? Let's try that. Maybe that will be close enough. So I have to adjust the step height when you are using the wheelbarrow so you can go one block up and down despite not being able to jump. That's for later. Much, much later. Why is it not working? Okay, so the pose is actually crouching, and the model isn't reflecting my pose. Okay, so I think there's the issue, kind of. That kind of clears things up. Okay, let's make ChatGPT work. I tested and my position is updating correctly, but it's not reflected in the model. For example, entity pose swimming or entity pose crouching. Adjust my pairs. I'm adjusting the pose of high level, and swimming seems to be swimming animation. Swimming other animation happens, but for standing, my player's model is still sitting. Okay, so that's really odd. If I have to set something other than set pose, like the animation is separated from the pose, because let's see if I use it. Okay, I'm not to say that works, but it makes me go lower when it shouldn't. I'm standing, then I would expect to be standing. I'm definitely making being made sat there. Oh man, I butchered that. If adjusting the entity's pose, your mixing is not reflected visually in the model, it's possible that there are other factors, so no shit. Model setup, animation controller, debugging. Let's check out the player entity renderer. Player entity class. If I can access it. I can. Pose. Set model pose is sneaking pose. Okay, I seem to be able to adjust arm positions actually. I mean, the renderer at least seems to be able to. Pose, pose, pose. Render arm, render leg. Set model, set model pose, sorry. Okay, so I set all of that. And then I think these are just arm poses. Is there anything about sitting? Nope. How about in player entity model? Sitting? Nope. Sitting? Nope. Oh man. How about trying find.com? I'm making a custom entity in Minecraft Fabric 1.24 that player can ride. I go to the my entity messenger, go to the entity dot that where I call passenger set pose entity pose standing, but it doesn't work. The player's model is always sitting. Well, I change it to, for example, entity pose swimming, then the model is swimming. Actually, let's make sure that's the case. Maybe I'm tripping. I'm pretty sure I saw it swimming today. Okay, sorry, I got lost for a moment. As expected, I don't know why the entity pose standing hold on passenger, that's player entity is not working. Let's see if we indeed are swimming, we are. Making custom, read through that again. Making a custom entity in Minecraft Fabric that the player can ride. Got the update passenger position, where I call passenger set pose standing, but it doesn't work. The player's model is always sitting. When I change it to, for example, swimming, then the model is swimming as expected. I don't know why that's not working. Okay. No, that's from 2014. 14. Make players stand on a custom entity. Okay, that's much newer. Override apply entity collision. What's that? Uh, Search for function that does the same thing the shulker entity class then. I want to, as a part of a bigger mod that adds a lot of new creatures, I want to add an entity that behaves just like any other entity, and that the player can stand on top of it. Similar to the shulker entity. Can a player stand on a shulker entity? What does that mean? Okay, I think I know what that means. Okay, that's not riding useful. Information provided in sources, it seems that the player's pose is determined by the is riding method in the entity class. Should rider sit? Is that the case, man? So long. 700 lines. Sit. That position. Set position, set position, set position. Is there anything about sitting? Stepping position. On block collision. Last chime intensity. Cool. So that is position. About riding. Peak riding. Vehicle. Update passenger. Okay, so I call that exactly that. And it happens after tick. So it should be overridden correctly. Get passenger riding position. Get passenger position. Okay, so that's what I've just overridden. Get riding offset. Get passenger riding position. I have that. Now I have attachment position. Starts riding. Okay. This is all for riding. Maybe I need ride to look for ride too. Like ending with an E, stop riding, removal passengers, dismount, ride, and ride, okay. What's that? Handle status. Should control vehicles. Update event handler. What's that called? Call when the entity is loaded to register game events, okay. Struck by lightning, kill other, get name. Okay, that's for overrides too. Oh man. Is there a ride method? Nope. Method in the entity class. Should the rider sit? Okay, that's all not the case at all. Sit. Let's sit on block goal, sit on owner should goal, shoulder goal. AI brain, site, members, sitting, aimable entity. Hmm. So I am already in set mode, set pose. I think that's where I get the names, by the way, for the injects that aren't public. But that's not it. Is riding or should rider sit? Don't exist. I'm working on 1.20.4 version. Even that you are working with that, the methods do not exist. The sources discuss modifying the behavior of that in Minecraft Fabric, the way entities and their riders are handled, including that. However, without direct access to that, you need to find another way to determine. Okay, that's not helpful at all. So I think what I'm going to do is try to ask for help on the Feed the Beast Discord, Modern Minecraft Discord. And if not, then we will see. If no one is able to help me, then I will see. I will see what then. Oh man, sorry. Yeah, I'm kinda tired and it's a bit of a shorter stream usually, because I usually I try to aim for 3 hours. Okay, I'm gonna slow down, sorry. Yeah, I don't think much more can be done today. Unfortunately, let me just come in these. It's entity, init, link, passenger, session. And yeah, thanks everybody for joining in today, and hopefully tomorrow we'll have that resolved. We'll be able to move on. So yeah, that's it for today. Bye.